Hey, everybody. It's Charlie. This guy, tired looking face. I know it's a little rough, but hey, we're here. It is May 3rd, 2 days before Cinco de Mayo. Apparently, I'm going back to work that day. We may have to rethink that. But yeah, we're here. It is May 3rd, 2022. I did look at the calendar because it's like, I don't know. I don't get it. I can't help myself. But you know what? Look. It's not just me today. I have the Jeff Morton with me, and we're here. And watch this. This will be funny. Jeff, watch. She's gonna hate me. Pow! Rosie
Stop
eating
it.
chicken. Rosie's eating chicken. Now I'll throw her back out now. That was just fun. I just, she had to know it was coming, right? I mean,
Every week.
you would think she would be like, oh, let me hide my face while I stuff chicken in it. Oh my gosh. Let's see who's here. I see people. Josh McLean. Hey, y'all. What's up? Dennis Lewis. I see you over there. Good evening, Charlie Jeff, and good evening, boss. He finally got to meet the boss yesterday. We met up with Dennis Lewis at the Ocala terminal face to face. We're like, what's up? He's like, dude, you look tired. I'm like, yeah, for real. Ken Kelly, finally, he said. Finally, what?
We're a minute late.
Whatever.
So Charlie actually I don't know, worked this last couple of weeks. Actually had to
look,
figure out routes and stuff like that.
For real. I did not like it.
How long has it been since you've actually done OTR, Charlie?
Like a year, a little over a year and a half. It's the first time I've had my truck in the Northwest in over 2 years. I can tell you that. Yeah. And I was not happy. Like, we got shut down in the snow, and I mean, just gosh. Hey, Billy Jack, what's up, buddy? Chris Williford, hey everyone. I see you. Robbie Mead, hey everyone as well. Oh, I didn't click on it, but I tried. I'm a failure. Barb, what's up? Glad you guys are here. So we are doing this thing. Jeff is in. Damn it, he told me and I forgot. Where the hell are you?
I have that other load stuck in my mind, so you have to give me a minute.
Wendover. I had funny things to say, and that's what led me to Wendover.
At that pilot, that's not really a pilot; it's really a big parking lot with 500 truck parking spots. That's not far enough away from Salt Lake to justify stopping for the night.
Right. Alan Becker, what's up, buddy? Robin Mead said he's been out sick for a couple weeks, just getting back at it. Oh, that sucks, dude. Yeah. Dude, actually, Roland said, how was getting out of Laredo? So, I had a load out of Laredo before I picked up my load in Portland. Eric, what's up, buddy? Alan, yes, that's where I was going. Look, that's what led me to Wendover. For some reason, my brain was trying to figure out where you were, and Bendover popped in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, Wendover, that's the one. Look, you better get out of my head. It's a crazy place. Nobody likes it there. I'm just saying. I pinned somebody's message. That was great. Look, I'm clicking on stuff that I don't even know what I'm clicking on. You know what? You guys, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I don't know if the message came out yet or not, but I'm going to do this fuel surcharge thing, Jeff, real quick, and let's get this out of the way. And then we got some stuff to talk about, y'all. So I'm going to make this happen real quick, and I got to click on a button. And there we go. Wow. National fuel cost. The average went up 0.349 cents this week. That's pretty awesome for our pockets, honestly. And those of you who don't think that's awesome, we need to chat because you're wrong. I'm just going to throw it out there just like that. Just going to be mean, grumpy Charlie, as someone likes to call me. What the ever, okay? That was a bleep that I put in my own mouth. You're welcome. Anyhow, West Coast Pad 5, not that I'm bitter or anything, it's cool. West Coast Pad 5 went up only 18 cents. Of course, it only went up 18 cents when the national went up 34, because that dropped the West Coast fuel surcharge down to 0.08 when I had a 2,000-mile run that started on the West Coast. But you know what? I'll take it. I'm still happy. You want to know why? Because the fuel surcharge is 0.721 cents per loaded dispatch mile. Y'all, that's unprecedented. We've never had fuel prices and national average this high. Only bummer, and I guess it's probably a good thing. I don't know. It's weird. The West Coast difference is now down to 0.512 cents. So that's the difference between the West Coast average and the national average. Anyhow, let's get out of this. I hope you guys are happy. I am. I'm pretty thrilled about it. I bet Jeff doesn't care because he was pretty much off all week. He's like touching his phone. You guys can't see it, but I can see him. It's weird.
Let's
He was touching his
check
phone.
in California fuel prices.
Hey, we don't want to know what you're doing. That's weird. Let's get out of here. Pow. I love when it goes pow. I don't know why, but I do.
Okay.
Is that weird?
You watch a lot of
I missed
Cartoon
the
Network, do you?
I like cartoons. Let's see. Eric, everything is good. Awesome. Craig Hutchinson. Hey, everyone. Yes. Alan said, keep growing. Brian. Look, I can't even read. Woohoo. Josh, nice. Dennis Lewis said, awesome. Roland Espinoza, I got 4,000 miles in this week with a student. Nice. 675 fuel on the East Coast. Dude, that is ridiculous. It just kind of hurts my feelings, man. Hey, so I got this little topic I wanted to talk about. And I just threw it at Jeff, and Jeff's like, oh. But, being OTR, I noticed some things, and then I made some calls and reached out to some people. And while I was in Phoenix, I talked to David Tillman about some of this stuff. And so here's the deal. Y'all, we need to do better. We just need to do better. All these red lights we're getting at way stations are caused by us drivers. Plain and simple. We're doing this to us. We are at a state right now, not in a state, but I guess we could be in a state, but in a state as whatever. I'm lost. Save me. We are at a point in our safety reporting right now with the FMCSA and all that pretty much we always will get a red light coming up on a way station. We're in that must inspect range as far as they're concerned. And according to what I found out today and what it was several weeks ago, and it still is false rods, record of duty status. And the leading problem there is still misuse of personal conveyance. Now, I didn't get into details to find out if it was owner ops were more guilty than company guys, and it's not about that. We're all drivers. We're all in this together. We all affect each other. So we need to do better. Like legit, we need to do better. So, yeah, I just I don't understand what it is.
It does make sense if you're paying attention to the social media traffic, though. Because you know me, Charlie, I can't leave things alone. I have to argue with people.
Right.
And boy, over the last couple of weeks, I have just been arguing with people over PC use. Well, my safety guy said, and I'm like, well, unless your safety guy's last name is Tillman, I don't want to hear it. Because we got it from the man himself, what's proper use in PC. And, all these different opinions out there don't really matter. I mean, it's Swift's opinion. It's actually Swift's opinion talking to leadership that it's kind of BS. They disagree with the rulings. However, Charlie, remember we've been talking about this.
Yes.
There has been a ruling in a court of law that says that Swift was wrong in what they told the drivers.
Right.
And that's when you saw them change their PC policy and say, okay, guys, we need you to stop doing this.
Right.
It was right at they went to the mat for what was it, 3 or 4 drivers in Arizona, wasn't it, Charlie?
Yep. And they fought tooth and nail and were told pound sand.
Yep.
I mean, you can't argue with that. The court spoke.
You can't argue with that. We can sit around and call BS on it all day long, but there's been a ruling. So stop using PC unless it's within those guidelines they gave us.
If you have to question, like legit, if you have to talk yourself into using PC, don't use it. If it's just that simple. If you have to talk yourself into it, I'm telling you, you're probably opening yourself and Swift and all of us up to more red lights and citations. Oh my gosh. See, look, Barb, look, I don't use it, period. I dig that. I understand why some people use it, and I understand why some feel pressure to use it at different times. It's a little tougher with a solo. I get that. Um, I just be real careful and be real sure about what you're doing, because those of you who are getting cited for this, and I'm not saying you guys, our group. I mean, I'm sure there's one or two here and there, I'm sure, but we as a group, as a collective of drivers, need to do better, because I'm tired of these red lights. And with this blitz
Yep.
coming up in 2 weeks, I'm just saying, y'all, they are gonna
I'm
eat
getting a
us.
hotel for that.
Look, I take it off every year typically, and it's not that I'm worried about my truck failing. It is absolutely, I don't want to open myself up to the extra scrutiny. They get a lot of guys out there, not necessarily guys that are the guys doing it all the time, and they're gung ho to prove something to somebody, and they will find stuff sometimes, and you'll be
Yep.
like, "Oh man, that was BS," but they got me. And what are you gonna do? Good luck
Mm-hmm.
fighting it. You know. Oh wait,
Yeah.
here's a comment. Chris Williford, my dad, who's a retired state trooper here in Texas, who did 20 years commercial vehicle enforcement, and he hated personal commands because too many drivers from all companies abuse it. Absolutely. And it
Mm-hmm.
was. And look, there was a time where I was a little sketchy on it myself, and I went out and I did some research and I did some talking and I changed my ways. Look, if I can change my ways, we all can. I'm just saying. I don't know why it's so difficult, and I don't know why we keep getting hemmed up for it. By the way,
Well,
I
and
put up
that's
a post. Oh, go ahead.
the thing, Charlie. You and I had this discussion when the rules changed, remember? And
Right.
I was
Yep.
doing sketchy things.
Right.
And it was my understanding of the rules versus you had talked to Dave Tillman. And we bantered it back and forth for a couple days on it and figured out what was what. And I changed what I was doing.
Right. And then we
You
did
know?
that video. I did that video with David Tillman where we specifically spoke about the proper use of personal commands. If you haven't seen it and you got any questions, I'm telling you, we covered it. It's in the
Mm-hmm.
regular video list on the channel. Look it up. It's a discussion with myself and David Tillman. And it was, yeah, like legit info. Like, seriously, take a look at it if you haven't. Not trying to push the channel, but it's good information. Jeff's getting a phone call. That's good. That's
It's probably
awesome.
Jerry.
It's Jerry. We're gonna mute him
Take
for
me
a
off the
minute.
screen.
Anyhow, here I am. Jeff's handling business. He's got a load board load that he's trying to get transferred over. So that's what that's about. Watch. Let's just make Rosie uncomfortable because it's fun. There she is. Hi, baby. You're frozen. You better stop it.
No, I was
You
trying
were
to.
you were dirty as hell. You made my. I was like, oh man. I pulled her in and she's frozen. She got her tongue stuck out. And look at her. Y'all see how she does me? Oh my God. She is wrong, wrong, wrong.
Oh my goodness.
My love, are you glad to be home?
Yes, I'm
Oh my
glad to
God.
be
Last night in
home.
our own bed was amazing.
Ah,
Wait.
yes.
That sounded weird. We like legit went straight to sleep. Like just knocked the
Yeah.
hell out. Dennis saw me. He knows that as soon as I got home, he knew I was probably going to be asleep before I even got here. It was autopilot. Oh, I think Jeff's back. Is Jeff
Oh,
back?
there he
Jeff's
is.
back.
Right.
All
So
right.
that was Jerry, the West Coast planner.
Nice.
Those of you, I don't want to open a bag of worms here or whatever
Right.
they call it. But so I did book a load for Friday off the load board out of Ontario going up to Colorado Springs, Colorado. And it is still the case that we need that guy to move the load over to the Half 9000
Excuse
in
me.
order for us to get dispatched on it. So that's what that
Right.
was about. And unless Charlie's got more on personal conveyance, I was going to touch on this a little bit.
No, go for it, man.
Okay. So everybody knows that freight's a little light right now. I can tell you that for a while I didn't quite believe that because I was running just fine, but this week is really tough. I'm having to actually work more to get loads than I'm
Right.
used to doing. So I made some phone calls this morning to get loaded today, and I'm headed for California. And then I used the load board to get a load out of California.
There you
If
go.
that hadn't worked out, I would have been starting to make phone calls Thursday because I'm due down in Ontario on Friday. So I would have started making phone calls on Thursday. Guys, you got to make these you got to make these relationships
Yep.
with these people. When freight's slow like this, I'm telling you, Jerry Coretta and Omar will find you a load, but you got to call them.
Right.
And it sure helps if they answer the phone and they're like, "Hey Jeff, how's it going? How's the family?" It
Instead,
sure
they're like,
helps.
"Hey,
Okay.
who are you? I've never talked to you before."
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Yeah. And
sorry, go ahead,
uh-oh.
Jeff. My bad. Oh,
I don't know if it's my end or what, but it's getting sketchy here.
okay.
But yes. So it's you got to build those relationships, guys. That's how we survive what's coming. And if you pay attention to the news, Charlie pays more attention to things like Rachel Lanes than I do. And he's been watching the rates on the spot market, which y'all seem to be really excited about doing someday. But those rates are dropping, aren't they, Charlie?
They are. April ended up closing down at like 281. The first 2 days of May are at 285, but that's only 2 days, so I wouldn't take any sort of real comfort in that yet. But they're saying that the rates are going to be kind of up and down for a while right now. Nobody's really sure when the actual bottom is going to fall out of it. The drop we're going to see is actually not really the crash we've been waiting for, that some of us think are point just blew up. Anyhow, so the drop that we're going to be seeing is actually a normalization of the spot market, right? To where it should be. And then we're going to we could possibly see a pretty gnarly drop in things. And with fuel prices being as high as they are, those guys out there in that spot market circus are going to die in the upcoming possible market because of the fuel prices being so high. No fuel surcharge. Not trying to toot the Swift horn here, but our fuel surcharge, like you all saw. And you know what? This leads me right into Blackbeard's little question here. What was the fuel surcharge this week? Look this. I'm going to throw it up there just for you, Blackbeard, because I'm that kind of guy. Look, I'm going to cover myself up. 0.721 Blackbeard. If you got a West Coast load, it's 8 cents on top of that. There you go. But yeah, so if you're on one of those types of contracts or non-contracts where you're not getting a fuel surcharge like we get over here, then you're gonna tough it out, and you're in for some hard knocks coming up. And people are buying trucks at crazy prices, and there's like a whole thing going on with even our contracts right now.
So yeah, I mean, Charlie and I just looked at truckpaper.com on our trucks, and we need to bring that up, Charlie, because
Yes.
Charlie read an article where this dude bought a truck for what was like 15 grand.
15 grand for
or something like that.
a Century, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, he bought it for 15. Yeah, totaled it. Went to get the insurance payout, and you know what he got? 15 grand. You know what his truck was worth? Over 30.
Yep.
Because of the market.
So my truck, mine's a 2016 Cascadia, and I'm looking at truckpaper.com. The low was like 30 grand, but that was an insanely low price. There wasn't anything else in the paper that even approached that. The median seemed to be between $80,000 and $90,000 for my truck. Right now, retail.
I seem to be sitting good. I still have
what I need to
a 42, 40-ish in that range.
Yeah. So what I need to do is I need to call Rapid and say, hey, what's my current valuation on my truck? And they're probably going to tell me around 45,000. I'm going to say, well, we need to make that 80.
Right.
And will it cost me more in insurance? Probably $1 or $2.
But in the event,
if I total the truck out, if you total the truck out, you need to buy another truck. Guess what? You're hosed, because you're not going to get enough money to buy a new truck.
Right.
So that's
and you're probably going to get half of what your truck is valued at in today's market. And it's something we need to be paying attention to. Jeff and I really hadn't talked about it a whole lot, but since the day I bought my truck, I've never dropped the value on my insurance on my reported value on the truck. It's been listed at 42 since the day I bought it. because that's what I paid for it. And so in my brain, it's still worth 42, and the insurance that I'm paying for covers my valuation of the truck, not what the insurance adjuster values it at. I'm paying for $42,000 worth of truck of insurance, and that's what I should be paid back. So you guys that are in these brand new trucks, Matt, Alan, you guys in those trucks, like, you guys need to find out what the market is on your trucks, and you may want to adjust your insurance. Yes, it's going to cost you more, but in the event you're in a wreck that totals out your truck, you want the full valuation. And that's just good business. And so that you can,
because that's what
insurance
is for. You know, you pay insurance as a hedge against catastrophe. So that's what it is. And if trucks like mine are going for $89,000, I'm going to need $89,000 to replace it if something happens.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Eric, I didn't mean to skip over your question. You asked why the market is so why freight's so slow right now. It's just it's a little weird. We didn't get the dip at the beginning of the year like we should have because of everything that's just been going crazy, and it just seems to be finally catching up a little bit right now. The port issues and the lockdown in China, and I mean, just there's so many different things going on right now. I mean, to try and put it on one thing, you can't. It's a lot of things, and that's just what it is. It's just a lot of things that we don't control. We just have to learn how to muddle through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, these are the times, Charlie. Like you and I both survived the crisis of 2007, 2008. That didn't actually end until about 2010, and it made us better business people. It made us so that we look at stuff like this and we're like, okay, well, we've already built our relationships with the people that'll keep us moving in this type of market. We've already lowered our bottom line to the point to where if I start the truck, I'm making money.
Right.
Especially
with that fuel surcharge. Whoop, whoop. Just saying.
Yeah. So, it's no longer if I take 2 weeks home like I just did, I'm not $1,500 in the hole. I'm $200 in the hole. You use these times, just rack your brain, man. And I don't know about you, Charlie, but that time, the last time this really happened, it hurt my brain bad.
Oh yeah, for real.
Because I leased my first truck just before the housing crisis. Like within 6 months, the market went, and I was like, "What did I just do?" And I was listening to older drivers. I was listening to this weirdo on XM radio, Rutherford, talking about how to survive this stuff. And I said, okay, well, I know for me, and my wife will tell you this, I'm not an employee because I don't get along with people all that great. In case you guys haven't noticed, I'm a little argumentative at times.
What?
So it is better for me to be self-employed. I just don't want to go back as a company driver.
Right.
And so I learned a lot in that couple of years on everything except for, apparently, Charlie will back me up on this, we learned everything apparently except for the value of having your own fuel card.
Right. Oh my God, we're dumb. Whatever.
I mean, we could have paid for 3 trucks with that money we're saving right now.
It's crazy.
But if it makes your brain hurt, it's like exercise. Just push through it.
Right.
Learn what you need to learn to survive what's happening. Learn how. If you're one of those people like my wife, there's a reason why you never see her on the show. She's an extreme introvert. She's not comfortable talking to people on the phone, this, that, and the other thing. If you're one of those people, all I can say is, man, you gotta figure out a way. Yeah, get on that phone. You need to make those relationships.
Right. You need to start asking about kids. Look, y'all laugh, but hey, how's the family doing? You got any kids? I was wondering. I talk to you from time to time. Look, that stuff works. It's just real relationship building, guys. And I'm sorry, but look,
do things that make you uncomfortable. Like I talked to Rapid Response yesterday, and you know me and names, Charlie.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm talking to the lady at Rapid Response. I'm like, you're the one with that cool steampunk keyboard, aren't you?
Becky.
Becky, yeah. She's got
got
this awesome steampunk keyboard that she uses. And I remembered that because I was in the office. I saw that. And you know what? She lit right up. And we talked about my daughter that's into steampunk and all that stuff. And you know what? That was a really easy phone call. I was asking for a few things that I needed for my business. And boy, that was a 10-minute conversation and everything got done.
Right. Look, this is just being human, y'all. I mean, I know we all want to jump to business. We want to get to, I have this problem. I need it fixed. And it's just whatever, it's freaking you out. But, take a minute. Say, hey, how you doing? I appreciate you taking my call. It's not that hard, you guys. And you will reap benefits from it. Look, it's just human nature. When you treat someone like that, they tend to be willing to do more for you and build that relationship back with you. And they want to build those relationships as well because I mean, why not? Hey, Trevor Dan, sorry, man, I didn't mean to ignore you. I see what's up, buddy.
Well, and with Rapid especially, Charlie and I have been around long enough to where we used to call them Rapid No Response.
Right.
All sorts of derogatory names.
Oh, we're gonna get
but you know what? Part of that, since we're both in our 50s now, so we can admit to things.
Yes.
We have no pride. Part of that was on us. Part of that was I never thought. Whenever I called them, I was like, I need this done.
Right.
Things changed when I started getting back to. I used to be in sales for in my younger days. I was a salesperson. Once I got back into that, boy, when I call them, they get things done. It's 100% how you treat people. So,
Billy,
hands.
just to answer your question, I'm going to Target on Thursday. Should the load board pop and we get some testing due, I may go out and do some OTR stuff at that point. But until then, we'll probably be doing Target because I'm over this OTR stuff for a minute, just for a minute. Because you like that, man. Sue, I miss you. Did you see? I dropped off another pack of stickers. I couldn't remember if I had given you a pack of those yet or not. By the way, those are the fuel card stickers, and they're really good stickers, by the way. They're super sticky and really thick, and they're awesome. And they have a QR code for the fuel card. If any of you don't have any, they're kind of all over the place right now. You could even swing by Phoenix and talk to Lisette, and Lisette could give you one of those magic stickers. And she's got some visor cards and some other stuff. And I'm just saying, whatever, get it out there, put it on your truck, stick it on your roof. I don't care. You don't have to put it on your truck. Put it on the inside of your hat. Just have it. Get that card. If you don't have it, you need it. It hasn't been great the last couple of weeks because the weird price has been going on. But look.
Yeah, they started evening out. The discounts started going back up today, from what I noticed. Like I fueled up in Tooele because that was my cheapest fuel, even though I only needed 30 gallons. But the discounts are back up around that 50 to 70 cents in my lane that I'm running right now. So,
Roland, I was so not in Laredo long enough to do anything or even talk to anybody. It was a weekend, so it was ECT people. So no, that's the short answer is no, I didn't, and I apologize. I will work on getting some stuff out there. Apparently some of our stuff has been getting spread around because I ran into someone who got some stuff from El Paso, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, because I didn't send them anything, but somebody got a visor card and a sticker from El Paso. I was awesome. Don't know how it happened, but I was like, that's cool.
We for those of you that don't know, we tell people that we're Swift famous now.
Yeah. So. Look, for real. I walk around like, if you don't know me, like, Christina at look, if any of you guys look, you guys got to do me a favor because this will be fun. I just got all excited about this. So check this out. If you go to Phoenix and you go in the Swift Company store, the girl that works the counter there pushes all the buttons. Her name is Christina. Okay. And do me a favor, go in there and be like, hey, I heard about you on Contractor's Corner from, that Swift famous guy, Charlie and Jeff.
Yep.
Just blow her mind. It'll be fun. And then you should buy something. I don't know. Buy something just because
those little keychains, they're like $2.
And if you can get her on video and send that to us, that'd be great.
Oh, absolutely. She will wig out. You point a camera at her, by the way. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah, when we were doing our special that Charlie's working on the editing for, we had the actual official Swift videographer with us, and we walk in there, and boy, she about come unglued.
Oh, she tried
You
to
are
throw us
not
out of the
putting me
store.
on.
Get out. Get out. No, I didn't put a face on today. I'm like, I gave you a week's worth of notice I was bringing a camera in here. She's like, no. It was so much fun. That lady is awesome. I really enjoy her. It's Josh. Oh, sorry, you guys. I apologize. Squirrels got us. I've saved a lot with the card. Josh, that's why we like it. And yes, Sue said yes, they are awesome. I'm just saying, it came from me, whatever, What did Sue say here? She said, hello, everyone. We'll need some Ifty cards in the next couple of weeks. Hey, I am going to start making some more because I, was gone gallivanting about the country for 3 weeks, and I will get you some more. And Jeff, I haven't checked yours yet, but I did check mine yesterday, and I pulled out a random sampling of the business cards, and guess what? They're straight. They're not all wonky, crooked in the... Oh my God. So we have new business cards, and I will get those to you as soon as I can, buddy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Matt says that the trip books from the company store, the Keep It Straight books, he likes them. I like them too. In fact, I stole their idea a few years back, many years back actually, and went out and had my own made because it was cheaper. Because I'm a cheap bastard. It was totally way cheaper. It was great. I had them made at like Kinko's or something like that.
Something like that in Washington, I think.
Shout out to Kinko's. Do they still exist? I don't even know if they still exist. Whatever. Gosh, I will get you some, Sue. I will do that quickly. Hey, I wanted to share something with you guys. It's totally changing the subject on you because it's fun, and I just want to, By the way, if anyone wants to call in, the phones are open. I forgot to tell you all that. Look, Rosie's sitting here talking, giggling about things. And
I got a full belly.
That's the wrong graphic. That's awesome. You could call that number right there, and you can talk to Rosie, and she'll talk to you for a minute, and then she's probably going to rush you off the phone, and then she's going to tell you, "Oh, hang on, they'll put you on the air live," because she gets weird sometimes. It's fun to watch. We're gonna, you know what? If someone calls in, I'm gonna leave Rosie on so we can hear what she says.
No,
when she doesn't know we're doing it.
Stop it!
Oh, look, now I screwed that up.
Well, now she knows you're gonna do it.
Dang it! I'm dumb. See, this is what happens when you hit your head really hard in the 90s. Blame whatever you want, and I'm just saying. And you start saying the things you think as you think them, gets me in trouble. Anyhow, oh, squirrel. Wait, I got to reduce the screen, and then I want to share this screen. This is some interesting stuff, and this is about fuel. I may lose some of you here. It's gonna happen. I can't help it, but I thought this was interesting. I should probably make that big so you can see it. Check this out. Oh, that is a terrible rendition. If you're on your phone, I apologize. If you're on a PC, you probably see it okay. Anyhow, so this year, out of the 19 weeks, I believe it's 19 weeks. Out of 19 weeks, it could be 18 weeks. I don't know what the hell we're in. This year, every week, the fuel price has gone up, except for 4. Every single week, except for 4 weeks, we have seen a price increase. And I was doing some historical, and this is a historical chart. It shows year by year by year and week by week by week, all the way back to like 90 something. Anyhow, I'm not going to bore you with all that. But if you look at the start of these last couple of years, 21, we started at 264 the first week in January. At December 27th, the last fuel surcharge report for 2021, we were at 361. Damn near $1 increase over the course of the year. The year before, we opened at 307 and closed at 263. This is not a political thing. I'm just saying this is real. These are numbers. This stuff happened. Ooh, did you catch that catch? That was good, Jeff. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and then there was actually a little more I wanted to look at. If you went back further and looked at 2019, we started at 301, ended at 304. These few years were actually fairly flat. There wasn't a ton of up and down throughout what was going on throughout the year. And the next couple of years before that were about the same. And look, she's switching. Oh gosh.
Yeah, and those people that were paying attention back then too, I remember going, gosh, the fuel surcharge has been at like 18 cents for like a year.
Right?
You know, it was like, it was weird, right?
I went back even further just to laugh, and look, 2008, we wouldn't even get a surcharge hardly. Just before that, like there was nothing. It was like, there she
Hey,
is.
what's up?
Everybody listening now. Rosie's screening a call.
Huh?
This is great. Here, let me kill her. It's gonna mess her up. I'm gonna totally screw her up. I'm gonna get punched in the junk later. It's gonna happen. Anyhow, I just thought these numbers were interesting. That all of the 19 weeks except for 4 have gone up, and they have gone up drastically. We're up almost $2 this year alone. That by itself is completely unprecedented and completely crazy. I'm just going to throw that out there. Anyhow, I'm going to make that go away. I just wanted to share that with you, and I thought it was interesting. Don't know how many of you thought so. I hope you did, but I was like, Jeff liked it. Look, my day is complete. I did something that Jeff approved of, and I can move on now. And now I got to make this other screen pop up. I apologize.
So do we have an actual caller?
Yeah, she's working on it right now. It's Matt.
Let's see. It's Matt.
I wonder if Rosie's back. Nope, she's still talking. Watch this. I could totally screw up. I could just yank him out of her ear and put him in. You want to do that?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. Watch this, because he's not going to know what's happening either. Maybe, I hope he doesn't say something inappropriate. Matt, you're on the air.
Oh. Hi.
I just stole you right from Rosie. This is great.
I see that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Change your headphones, lady.
I know.
That's just fun. What's going on, Matthew, right?
See, now I'm confused. I just hear change your headset. And
Not you.
Now I'm confused
Rosie.
because I can't see anything.
No, Rosie. Rosie
Oh.
needed to change her headset because I stole you from her, and she's like had the wrong headset on. I brought her back live again, and it's just fun. When I saw it was you, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna steal him from her.
Yeah, that's fun.
No,
we're just talking about how much we missed our beds when we were out on that trip to
God, right?
Vegas.
Oh, like for real.
It wasn't as bad for me though. It wasn't as bad because I have the same exact mattress in my truck as I do at home.
Whatever, fancy pants.
So I'm sorry, I got a deal. I got a buy one get one deal. It worked out.
See, I don't mind my truck mattress. Don't get me wrong. I actually like my truck mattress, but I also like my mattress at home when I get to spread out and just stretch and just be all wow, yeah. And like Rosie and I, we're like opposite ends because when we
have that little understanding when we get home. It's like I love you, but
I just spent 3 weeks where we were sleeping in a twin bed together when we were shut down. I'm just saying that was whoa, it gets tight, yo. Plus, I had 6 cases of crap in the truck and all the equipment, and oh my god.
Plus, and people might not know this, but Rosie's a ninja when she's asleep.
For real.
She turns into a ninja and throat punches Charlie just for being
happened.
Oh my god.
Happened.
Throat punches or kicks?
It was a throat punch, bro. Like just pow.
Okay.
I don't even know why.
She punched me in the eye too. She punched me in the eye.
Battered
I can't
man.
remember which one happened first, but she punched me in the throat and in the eye.
Hey, whatever, Johnny Depp.
Okay then.
Oh.
You know what? I'm about to get out of my chair.
I feel like that gets escalated very quickly.
Right? She just went deep or depth on me. What? See what I did there? Oh my god.
Hey,
this is spiraling quickly.
That's a whole other issue if Rosie does that though. You know, if you're paying attention to the news. Oh my goodness.
Right? Look, don't even go
have
there.
A little if we keep going, Charlie's gonna have a present on his pillow.
Oh my god, please stop it. Look, you guys got any questions? do us all a favor and throw them up. Matt, how's it going? You went OTR again today, right?
Yeah, I went back to my Northeast regional account after that little OTR excursion, and then ran Surge for Target for 3 days.
Ugh. Yeah,
I always kick myself for running Surge for them. it hurts.
Yeah, when you get used to that percentage thing and then it drops out and you're doing the other crap, I can understand that.
So Matt, we were talking about.
I don't know. I didn't hear him either. Go, Jeff.
Oh, I just said Target keeps me percentage because they pay me less, but they keep me percentage than the actual account guys on owner ops. So unless I'm running one of those Long Island loads, it's like, oh, okay.
And
they enticed me with Long Island to run for the weekend for them, and then they changed it last minute to Massachusetts. I'm like, well, okay, this sucks. I only stayed because I told them I'd run it for the weekend. Otherwise, I would have been like, peace out.
So Matt, you mentioned Long Island, which is not even on most of our maps for good reason.
Right.
But tell people why you're willing to do that run.
Well, it pays a good chunk of cash to do that run. And then on top of that, Swift gives a Long Island bonus. Owner operators, it's $100. Company drivers, $50. But they'll pay you a little bit of extra money to do that load.
Just to deal with the headache.
Depending on where it's coming from. Right. And depending on where it's coming from, it could equal a good chunk of cash. When I was running Target dedicated, it came out to being like another 20 cents a mile. It paid me round trip.
Oh, wow.
Having that extra $100 added on. So it worked out really well, and it made it so that I was averaging anywhere from like $1.68 to $1.80 with the fuel surcharge added on.
Right.
For the loads as a set rate per mile.
Yeah. And
that
was good then.
So this is an example of, we were talking earlier, Matt, about freight being a little on the shy side right now. From what corporate tells us, it's not just one place. So by being willing to do something that most of us aren't willing to do, they pay you for that, right?
Yes.
So
people they will do that.
So yeah, I mean, guys, that's something to look at too. Find something that other people aren't willing to do, and see what it pays.
And I promise you, Long Island's not scary.
You can say that all you want. I'll never believe that.
It's not. I've delivered concert equipment into the downtown Bronx, places where big trucks shouldn't be, and I came out of it okay.
You just got to move slow and be very careful and deliberate and exaggerate every movement. But look to touch on this subject, this load that I took down to Miami. Oh my God! Look. This was a sketchy neighborhood. Rosie's like done with Miami. She's not going back anytime soon. Anyhow, but we got there, and before we got there, they had sent me a load. They wanted me to run up to Fort Pierce and grab a Walmart pallet load and run that up to Jacksonville. And I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm gonna be bobtailing home. I'm dropping this trailer wherever you tell me to, and I'm going home. I have no interest in running over an extra load or anything else. I just want to go home. You got something going straight to Ocala, we can talk about it. And actually what they ended up doing is they said, hey, if you grab this pallet load, we'll let you T-call that in Ocala. And then I got a little bump on top of that for doing it.
Nice.
Because they couldn't get anyone down there. I mean, they had loads sitting on the yard that John couldn't cover on Saturday or Sunday it was. And so he's like, look, man, I can't, because I tried to T-call this Miami load for real on the way down. I could have been home Sunday night, and I'm like, yes, I'm driving right by there. Let's just T-call in Ocala. And they're like, nope, sorry, buddy. I got 3 loads I can't cover right now, man. If I do yours, then I get the service failure. And he was not willing to do it. And I understand that 100%. Mm-hmm. So,
I have another great example too.
Go for it.
So when I picked up in Illinois, it was a beer load that had already been T-called in the Mantra terminal or however, Mantero or whatever the terminal we have is in Illinois. That was coming from Colorado. It had already been decalled there. It was supposed to go deliver in the Bronx at Manhattan Brewery. And that load had been sitting there for 3 days. And I kept seeing people post, there's no loads in Illinois. Well, come to find out, I was told by the planner, 7 people declined that load because it was going to the Bronx.
But there's no loads there.
When they sent it to me, right, exactly. They sent it to me. I just responded back with a counter. Can I call it in Syracuse? And guess what? They let me call it in Syracuse, and I went home from there. I was on my way home.
It got it closer.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It got it off that planner's board too.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
He dumped it in Syracuse's lap. Here you go.
It was, and I looked at it on Google Maps too. The place it was delivering to in the Bronx was literally right off from 287. You got off 287 and you went a quarter mile around the block, and boom, you're at your delivery.
Nice.
So it wasn't even that hard of a delivery.
Hey, Matt.
And it kept being rejected, but people were complaining.
Hey, Matt. Trucker Dan said, "What's up, Matt?" He's wanting me to call you out.
Hi, Dan.
So there you go. Hi, Dan. Hope you're doing better, man. Hope the fuel mileage is doing better.
Right. I hope that oil change helped.
James Vaughn. James Vaughn is someone that I just met over in Phoenix, and that dude's got kind of a cool situation. He actually lives down in Mexico, and I kind of dig that thought. And he just said, "Howdy from Tampico, Mexico." Look at that. We're international, y'all. We are international.
Yeah.
Big time. We are big time.
So, Matt, since you like to stoke fires and all that stuff,
and
we were talking about rates and lanes earlier. On your percentage contract you're on, are you seeing your rates drop at all, or are you still being steady?
Actually, I've seen loads go up in price. Like the load I'm on right now, last month paid me, it was like $1,300, and now it's paying me $1,600. The next load I'm on was paying me before $1,000, and now paying me $1,300. So I've actually seen the rates go up.
I could comment on that. You
want
to know why that's happening?
Surcharge.
You want to know why that's happening? It's contract rates. They have a built-in surcharge with the contract spot market. It's not spot market. The contract rates are holding steadfast, but they're climbing because of the fuel surcharge. And that's actually one of the things the industry has been talking about is that contract rates are still doing really well. It's the spot market that's doing this wonky up and down, kind of along the lines of the fuel prices, but in the exact opposite. Spot market seems to drop and fuel prices go up.
We don't get the fuel surcharge from that contracted rate. We get only what Swift is paid before fuel surcharge, before island bonus, all that type of stuff. So we don't get paid what they're being paid for fuel surcharge, which in the end actually worked out better though, because we're still collecting that 72 cents a mile for fuel surcharge now. So it actually works out better for me. And I've done the math recently between them paying for the tolls, the fuel surcharge, and the load paying out to me. I'm getting like 92 to 96% of the load.
I'm gonna just mess with Matt because it's fun. Screw your math, Matt. We fixed your math the other day. Do you know this guy sat here and told me that Let's Truck was wrong, and it was amazing. He's like, Let's Truck said I'm only getting this mileage, and then when I do the math on the calculator, it comes out better. And I'm like, Matt, I don't understand how that could happen. So I did the math and I came up with the exact same numbers that Let's Truck did, and I busted them out, and it was fun. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I was having a moment, okay?
He doesn't know how to push buttons on a calculator. He was so far off. I was having
a moment. I had the calculator the wrong mode. Once I reset the calculator, it was fixed.
It was in wrong math mode. Apparently, that's what it was, because he was like all kinds of crazy.
We all have our days.
I enjoyed the hell out of it, though.
You know, I normally spot on with numbers. You know that.
You're spot on with something. He can't see my face. Y'all know what I'm saying.
But it's like I ran those target loads over the weekend, and I ended up making more money than what Swift is being paid for those target loads. So Swift's paying me $812 or something like that after fuel surcharge, but Swift is only being paid $777 for that load I ran.
So you should say thank you, but don't go back. I'm just saying.
It's
Excuse me.
still painful.
When I was getting deep into the business end with account runners in Opelika, that's even for me on an OTR rate. A lot of those loads that they were having me do, they didn't actually make money from the load at all. But where it was saving them was Walmart was fining them X amount of dollars for every load they had to get back to a Walmart driver. And so that's why it worked out.
Okay.
And like when Target brokers out loads that they can't cover, like I know for us, the rates that they pay out to a broker to cover a load they couldn't cover are astronomical. They're absolutely astronomical.
Right. That same load, they're paying the broker $2,200 to find someone to cover that load and pay out to that carrier. And when they're only making $7 on that load,
right?
That load, they looked it up. They were paying the outside carrier. It was like $1,900 the outside carrier was getting for that specific load I was running, when they're only making that $777. So
nice.
And I can see what they're being paid for fuel surcharge, all that stuff, and I still ended up better than Swift in that situation.
Alan's going to Opelika tonight. Whoop whoop. Rosie got a cramp. Look, you can see that face.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to leave her here, but I'm going to be nice. Watch this. I'm just going to make her go away. She's going to go fight that cramp in her foot or her leg right now. It's great. She's laughing, but she's in terrible pain. Oh my gosh.
Go drink Gatorade.
So is Alan going to be running a surge for them over there, or what's he doing?
He's probably just dropping a load. That was funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. The 12-year-old.
You could tell those of us that are old enough to have watched Beavis and Butthead when it was new.
So, Trigger Dan said, I think the oil change worked. He's getting 10.5 on the dash. I'd be interested to find out what that is in real life, because I'm pretty sure it's not 10.5, but hey, it's something. Let's see. Alan said, that's what I'm talking about. Great job, Robbie. Because Robbie said he slowed my truck down to 65. My lifetime fuel mileage has increased from 6.9 to 7.6. And I got 8.27 on my last tank from Laredo to Gaffney. That's what I'm talking about for real. Just like Alan said, that's what I'm talking about. Great job.
And, beating the dead horse like we like to do in this show.
Yes.
Right now, with the way things are, you guys, 70 miles an hour, with fuel prices the way they are, low freight volumes, you need to be milking that fuel tank for everything you can right now.
For real.
That's where your money's going to be coming from when times are tough like this.
Yeah, then when loads are slim, you've got more money left over.
Yeah, I should correct myself. I don't think times are tough, because
they're
not tough yet. I can see some things coming, though, when we look at the industry news that don't look great. I mean, I'll be honest with you, they don't look great. I was just talking to a guy that's thinking about becoming an owner-operator the other day, and I told him, look, man, is it worth it? I think it is. I absolutely, even right now, I would pull the trigger and become an owner-operator.
Right.
But you got to be aware of this, and this. And if that scares you, it scares you.
Right.
If you prefer the stability, if you will, of a company job, I mean, maybe now's not the time for you. Right.
Yeah. And that's legit. I mean, seriously, there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to understand the numbers and what's happening and how you can maximize and actually really profit from it. So,
yeah.
Jeff's on to something here. He's a smart guy. That's why I like this guy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Rosie's back. She's got Gatorade now. Look, pow.
And
product placement.
Here's another great example, too. You guys are slowing down and spending less than fuel. Here's an example. I picked up a load in California, and there was a truck stop right next door, so I filled my tractor. And I filled it when I delivered as well, right there at the pilot down the road. The pilot down the road from the terminal, just because I wanted to get those actual real-world numbers of how much I spent on fuel and versus how much I got the fuel surcharge, and I profited $250 on the fuel surcharge.
Right.
That was paid out to me. So I didn't pay a dime for fuel. Just paid for all of it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
That's what you guys have to look at too.
Alan said, yeah, I love being an owner, but there's some things to expect. Can you make it through the slower times? And that's why we are here as a group. That's why we do this every week, and to try and help you guys get through it and try and help us get through it. You know, we learn from you guys learn from us, and that's what we're kind of all about. You know, we're trying to make it all work out and do better. You know, that's you can't see it behind the screen here, but you know, that's the whole purpose of Contractors Corner, is to help you run a better business.
Well, and you know, Charlie and I have talked about it. You know, we like to tell people that between the two of us, we've got 30 years of experience. Well, we have how many members in the group now, Charlie? 100 and
yeah, we're getting close
like
to that 200 mark, like 180, 170. Like that. Oh, that was
so
beautiful.
you've got people that just started, and you've got people that have been owner operators longer than Charlie and I on that group.
Right.
And so yeah, I'll you know, I'll put it out there. Things do get heated sometimes, and sometimes maybe people's feelings get hurt. But you know, when any of us, old timers, new timers, or whatever, start asking, well, let's talk about the numbers. Don't take it for anything other than what it is. We're trying to find something out. You know.
Look, that's how we got on this fuel card.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie and I were so bullheaded about that. We called BS on all fuel cards for the longest time. It's like, yeah, they want $300.
I had to show them the numbers.
They want that. Yep. Once we saw the numbers, though, I mean, it was like, holy dude, we could have owned a small fleet by now.
Right. But it
you know,
took us knowing the numbers.
I've been telling you guys too for a year, and then you guys said, "Well, show us the numbers." So I showed you guys the numbers, and you're like, "Yeah, okay."
Right. But that's what it takes for us, and that truly is it. You could have a great idea. I'm not opposed to it, but I want to know what the numbers say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
those
make sense.
You know, the thing that I'm excited about right now is me and names again. Charlie, help me out. The dude that just bought the APU. You know, his first couple of weeks are looking really good to me. And I've told you guys before that I run the numbers on my operation with and without an APU every couple of years.
Right.
And in the past, it just hasn't made sense for me. But, and Charlie and I were talking about this earlier, I'm getting older now. That's part of it. So my comfort level has become much more important to me as I approach 50 years old than it was when I was 30.
Right.
Right. And so when I'm honest with myself, I'm idling a lot more than I did 10 years ago. And so I've got to factor that in.
Right.
And then you got this guy that actually spent the money, which is I love it when other people spend money on things that I'm looking at, Charlie.
Yeah, no doubt.
I get to evaluate how it affects their business without it affecting my own.
Yeah, we get to see the data, right? Yeah, for real. I mean, look, you know, that's the beauty of a collective like we have here. You know, everybody does things a little bit different. We find things that work well for one of us, and we go, hey, let's take a look at that, and we'll get deeper in that, you know. And
yeah,
so
I really
yeah.
miss my APU. I had an APU when I was over at Schneider, and that was when diesel was around still $3.50 a gallon when I was over there.
Right.
That was 5 years ago, and prices were high on diesel then, and that APU made a huge difference. It made a difference between me getting 7.5 or 8.5 miles to the gallon. That extra mile to the gallon makes a huge difference.
Typically speaking, for Rosie and I, it doesn't pencil out. So,
I mean, you know, I went out to the Thermal King website last week, and you know they have that calculator on ROI, which is return on investment. And funny thing is, they wouldn't let me plug in a number high enough for what fuel costs right now.
Right. Right. The calculator doesn't possess numbers that high. Go figure that one out.
And also, you guys know I do the bypass oil filtration, so I only change my oil like every 140,000 miles.
Right.
It wouldn't let me enter that in either, because it's just their numbers that they don't think are real, right? Yeah. But based on their numbers, it was saying 48 months for me to or 48 weeks for an ROI on that. But when I do the math by hand, if it's really saving that mile per gallon, like what I'm seeing in the numbers from this other member of ours, dude, that's a 12-month ROI on a $13,000 piece of equipment.
Right.
So it's really
Yes, it
starting
was
to look
48
good.
months. It wasn't 48 weeks. He misspoke. It was 48 months, and the ROI when he did the math was the 12-month window, and that's 3 years off.
Yeah. Well, there's two types of sales tactics. One is to make everything look like rainbows and roses,
Right.
so that people will buy your thing. The other one is to take the cautious approach, so that I call it the Scotty approach. There's actually a book written called the
Yes.
Scotty principle, where you under promise and over deliver. And apparently Thermal King uses that because they want you to be happy that your ROI is half of what they told you it was.
Look, I use that with loads. I like legit, they're like, hey, this load is a little sketchy late. And I'm like, well, the best I can do is this time, and I'll give them a time. And one, it's building in a little cushion for me so they know what to expect. But 9 times out of 10, we show up well before what we said we were going to show up.
Yep.
And it's simply to keep me to give that buffer, and I like to kind of overperform from what their expectation was.
Yeah, I do that with the Macro 22 in the wintertime. I run up in Canada, which Charlie just experienced. So he understands again. And if I get shut down for a storm, I'll put an ETA out for like way out there. But 9 times out of 10, I'm within an hour or two of the original appointment time. But as soon as that road shuts down and I'm shut down because of snow, I do that Macro 22 right then and there, because that's that big cover your butt, not getting a service failure.
That's what I do up here I run nothing but quote unquote Canada. So it's what you have to do.
Yeah, I was deep in Canada. Oh my gosh. Look, oh my God. Yeah, seriously. Sorry, I'm typing in the background, guys.
I actually,
for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When you did your when you were looking at all that, were you also including in there the $3,000 tax break you get for having the APU?
I was not. Is
Okay.
that per year, or is
So
that
then
just
you could make your money back
on the
sooner.
purchase?
That's per year.
Okay.
That's per year. There's a $3,000 tax break per year having an APU on your tractor, whether it be diesel or electric.
You'll have to.
So you have to look at that too, which could turn it from 38 weeks to 32 weeks.
Nice.
Bear with us just a minute, folks. We're doing something in the background real quick, and we will. I'm gonna get right back to you. I gotta type, and it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. We're trying to get
Yeah, so you get that. Okay. Yeah, so you get that nice tax break too, which is to help you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's all sorts of stuff like that though. When you're running math, somebody tells you about something you didn't know about all the time. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the opposite though. It's not as positive as getting a $3,000 tax credit. And you're like, well, crap. Well, because
$3,000 tax credit is a nice thing.
One of the things that happened to me this last week is it was a little sketchy on if my truck was going to pass my DOT inspection this year. And so I was literally on the phone talking to Michelle. Okay, what do we do? What have you got in stock, just in case? And so that forced me to run numbers on if I had to get another truck too. And Charlie will tell you, man, I didn't sleep for like 3 days. And I was calling him saying, I don't know what to do, man, this truck. And it ended up being okay. I got my sticker. But, it made me go back and do that basic math on what if I had to lease another truck, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Dude, it was like legit. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, Jeff had this all worked out. Like, he reached out to everywhere he needed to reach out. And if things didn't work out with his truck this week, He was ready to pull the trigger. He had a plane almost set up for him. We talked about him just bobtailing out here so he could park his truck, out on our property, and then I would drive him up to Greer. I mean, we had all these plans laid out just in case. And I'm telling you, this popped and happened in a matter of just a couple days, hours initially, honestly.
Yeah, and I even talked to my mechanic in Oregon, a buddy of mine from high school is a diesel mechanic, and I was like, so if we part the truck out, how much more do you think I could get than if I just sold it without being able to pass DOT? And we started running numbers on that. Well, the DP, is your one box okay? I'm like, dude, my one box is perfect. He's like, that's the big thing because, those are not available right now. So you could probably get about half of what a new one costs out of it.
Right.
I'm like, cool.
I see you,
So
sir. I'm getting to you.
I actually had this whole plan of parting the truck out to pay for the new one. So.
Babe, I'm gonna bounce you. I love you. Mwah. See how I did that? I didn't even let her respond. And we now have a guest, Mr. Brett Stewart. How the heck are you, buddy?
Hey, Brett.
Well, today was my first day of quitting coffee, so I'm a little tired.
And you got on here today? What is wrong with you? Matt Wright's on the phone with us, just so you know, because
what up, Matt Wright? Yeah, and time zones are terrible. I wish we wouldn't have them. So
it's all good, man. It's good. We've been on here for just over an hour, and we've actually been flowing pretty good. Look, we talked about the crazy diesel prices and the historical. We talked about the fuel surcharge, which has me all giddy as hell because it's 72 cents a mile. And I'm like, whoop, whoop. Yeah, baby, let's go. I was a little bummed because the West Coast went down 2 cents to 8 cents. And of course, it's on a week where I was on the West Coast with a 2,000 mile load. So instead of 10 cents, I only get 8. But you know what? I get an extra 8 cents. And I'm happy. That makes it 86 cents. No, God, man.
72 and 8 is 80.
I can't
80
count.
cents a mile.
I'm so tired, Brett, still from these last 3 weeks.
I was going to say, you made it home.
Oh, barely, man. Barely. Yeah. Miami was not a pleasant place yesterday. I'm just telling you. Rosie and I, we don't want to go back.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of the show, Brett.
Felt the same way today.
Jerry decided to return my phone call right in the middle of the show.
Oh, that was good.
I got to go over with people what I was doing with him. So that was good exposure for him.
Awesome. What the heck were you doing in Miami, Charlie?
Delivering a load, man. Dude, and I'm on this tiny little street at this store that does not have a dock. They've got a chain and some clamps they pull pallets out with. And there was power line work going on next to me. So I'm literally on a little side street parked up next to the building. There's barely enough room to get cars between me and the power pole guys. And they're like moving these massive power lines. And I'm just like, oh, this is going to end poorly for everybody involved. And of course, you know what I did? I stood in a puddle the whole time at the end of the trailer and watched them unload because why not? Just seemed like the thing to do. Figure if it's going to happen, let's make it happen quick and proper.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why the puddle, though? Why'd you stand in a puddle?
Because it was there at the end of the trailer.
Oh, okay.
And I was fascinated by the hooks and the chains and the weirdness. These were like, so the pallets they were pulling out of this thing were the entire width of the trailer, and they were stacked 3 high. So it was to the roof of the trailer and wall to wall. And these things were massive. It was just fun to watch. It wasn't super heavy. It was just big. It was like, wow.
So I have one more question, and then let's go to your questions.
Yes.
Why did we have to bounce Rosie? We can't do the 4 quad here?
Oh, look.
Whoa, Rosie!
Look, I make this even so that you notice my head's still not covered by the logo there. I'm just saying. I think these things out. I was just giving her a break because she's like, why am I still here?
Yeah, seriously. She's like, can I leave now? Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm just, but now I know. I mean, technology will allow. I was just looking at the space. I'm like, there seems to be enough space.
Oh, Brett, we could throw 10 people up in here if we wanted to. Like legit. Yeah, it's crazy. I think we would start shrinking a bit, but yeah, it's like doable. It's a weird
we would
thing.
we would get smaller for sure. Yeah.
Turtle up.
Turtle. Well, hey, Matt Wright.
Hi.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm here.
I missed you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So Matt's like, he hits me up, texts me, says, "Hey, I'm going to be swinging through Phoenix on the way to Vegas." I'm like, "Cool, let's meet up." So we missed the first day. He's like, "No worries, I'll be there all week." And then Monday, Tuesday, I'm like, "Cool." So, and then you just like left. which I get. After a couple
he's
days
like
in
that,
Vegas,
man.
I just want to go home. But
Oh,
In
Dennis
my
Lewis said,
defense,
hey.
you were on vacation. You
That's-
did tell me you were on vacation, so
yeah, always on vacation.
Dude, that was hilarious because that okay, wait. That was fun because when you told him you were going on vacation was when I walked into your office with the camera guy, John, and you're like, dude, a little heads up would have been good. I'm like, Brett, we talked about this the other day, and you told me come in at 8 o'clock, and you're like, but that was last week, man. Dude, do you know what? Brett, I haven't decided what to do with it, but I have the footage of that entire conversation because John was standing at the doorway with the camera rolling, and I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this could be so much fun because the look on your face, you're like, dude, a little heads up. And I'm like,
yeah.
this is gold.
You actually reenacted
Yes.
it exactly perfectly. And
You know.
I appreciated it too, because
I
it was
did.
like I wear my mood on my face. Like I don't fake the funk. Like
It
I
was
was in a
awesome.
funk. I was like, what on earth is going on? I remember you saying something about it,
Right.
but then I like live by my calendar. And so there
Right.
was just nothing. Yeah. So anyways, I was not mentally prepared for the amount of energy and video-ness you had in my
Right.
face at that time.
Oh, and I was all fired up too.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Brett, what's up, buddy? We're here. We're going to do this, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be great. People are going to know who people are because we're going to, and then half the office is out. I was like, what the hell?
I know it was not a good, it just wasn't our best day, but we get it. We got it done. I think you guys did an awesome job introducing everybody. And
I'm going to get
the
that
team
cut
will
up
be up
hopefully soon. I just haven't, I just barely got the computer up just before the show, got it all put back together. And then I had to do Rosie's and get that. I was like, oh my God, man, this is horrible.
Yeah. Dude, you were on it. Trucker Dan. Do I hear a baby?
It's
crying?
okay.
Oh, that's a
No,
cat. I'm like,
that's that crazy cat. That thing right there. You have no idea the trouble this cat is. She is special in every sense that you might refer to an animal, not in any good way.
yes.
She got little tiny front legs and she's cross-eyed and she can't hear or see sometimes. I don't know what the hell's going on with the cat.
That's amazing.
And then she makes the most amazing meows and she's just, I'm here, pay attention.
Okay.
She'll meow in a corner staring at a wall. She'll walk in, sit behind a door that's open in that space and meow in the corner. Anyhow, you know what? Squirrels. It's this time it's cat.
Yeah.
Babe, you are out of here. You are so out of here. Oh my God.
my Rosie.
She's got to go, that cat. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Cats can't be
Jeff,
trusted, man.
I'm turning this over to you, sir.
Why?
You got some
Because
questions.
you had questions. Go. Rates. No. Lanes.
no.
Where it should
Lanes.
be going. See, I got
Yeah.
stuff.
So we were kind of wondering, Brett, since you guys have all the analytics and everything, and people are still complaining about freight in certain areas, is there a place that we can try and head that maybe is a little bit insulated from what's going on, especially on the West Coast right now?
Yeah. The East Coast.
Okay. Is it better over there, do you think?
Oh yeah, so I mean, it's all relative, right? So if you're looking at the last 2 years, I don't think the whole nation is where it's been for the last 2 years, and that's just not at Swift. That's kind of everywhere. That
Right.
you can see the supply and demand has changed. It's not as feverish, but we're still load for load volume wise the same, just maybe a little bit off where we've been in the past couple of years. It's just the difference in the load themselves, the destinations. So
Okay.
but yeah, I would say the good news is California has picked up again, which I know a lot of folks on this call do not go to California, but there's a lot of great freight that runs.
Oh no,
out of
there's a great deal of people here that these guys run the hell out of California.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
Ken Kelly only runs the West Coast, so
Nice.
things like that.
Well, and so there's, Utah is not the best right now. I've heard that's a pretty big dead zone. Stay out of Utah. But they're building up and booking up. But no, if I was an owner and you have the capabilities and the time to do so, just go run the East Coast for a couple of weeks.
Right.
This is going to change. I mean,
it always does.
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
always
up, down.
Well, I was telling people that since I'm
That's
west
that.
of the Rockies, what I did today was I made some phone calls,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he
got
had to
myself
do a
moving.
little work.
Yeah, it was a little tougher, but I'm looking at least 2,000 miles this week just from what I accomplished today.
And it
And
was just
but
phone calls.
the planners, they've got these things on their board that have got to go, right? They need to get these loads fulfilled.
Yeah.
And one of the things I do is I don't go through Oregon anymore because of that stupid Oregon tax. But a lot of freight out of Salt Lake City, guess where it goes? Seattle,
Yeah.
right? And so for me to avoid that, I need to utilize Jerry, and see what's really available. And even, I told my wife, I said, I took the least sucky load today that I could find. So,
Yeah.
but it got me moving, and
I
it got
love
me to
it.
a place to where I could get another load, and hopefully that'll generate another load. And it's just about getting moving initially for me, But yeah, I like to try and get east, so I'm glad that's still a thing.
Yeah. Matt chimed in, I think, on the phone saying it was still good. So take it from him.
Yeah, it's doing real good. I keep getting like they wanted to stack me a week out, and I'm like, no, let's not in case something happens.
Yeah.
So there's definitely freight up here.
Blackbeard. Oh, James, I'm sorry. Congratulations on your wedding. I know you probably already logged out, but congratulations. Good luck, man. Enjoy your time in Mexico down there. That guy actually lives in Mexico. That
Yeah.
guy,
Did not know
it's a
that.
trippy thing. Yeah, that's cool. Anyhow, James Vaughn, congratulations. Have fun at your wedding. Blackbeard just said he just went to East Coast Dedicated and he hasn't stopped running. Yeah. Sue's chiming in. She's washing her hands again from something. I don't know, Sue. Why are you washing your hands now?
I
I
think
don't know.
she says that every time you put that stogie up to your mouth.
Oh,
That could happen.
It does look like a dirty turd. So
I don't
can
know
see
if you
that.
can answer this or not, Brett. This is
Yeah.
Eric Barnum. This is a guy that's I've been talking with for a long time. He's actually got a truck that he's working on getting rebuilt right now, and he's going to be coming over with his own truck. Anyhow, has
Nice.
buying AAA Cooper hurt Swift? I don't think it's hurt Swift.
Not whatsoever. We've been super strategic around the acquisitions this year and the years past, where it just fits into the space that we're not currently operating in. I mean, think about it. We did less than truckload buy, with our most recent acquisition, AAA Cooper. They had different brand model, different freight that they're running, just different all
It just
around.
put our fingers in that other pool, and
Yeah.
it made the entire umbrella, the Night Swift holding side of things, a bigger pot to hold, you know what I mean? And more buying power, more revenue for the stockholders and all those wonderful people. And if you guys don't have stock, well, maybe you might want to look at it because it's been doing fairly well. I mean, it's pretty even the last few weeks from what I've seen.
Now, I have a question for Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, this could go
So
sideways.
how many active trucks does Swift have on the road now between all its acquisitions and Swift Ignite itself?
Good luck.
Why would he know that?
I love you.
God.
Yeah. I got a question I know you won't be able to answer. Yeah.
What a bastard that guy is. Hey, we're just gonna pretend that never even happened.
It's a fair question.
No, it's a question that I'm actually interested. I don't know, but I'll get back to you on it.
You know what? I'm gonna
sure.
get Kevin Knight on right now, and we'll just ask him direct. I mean, oh wait, he doesn't know who I am yet. So yeah,
I like how you added that.
hey, look, man, I'm not giving up. There's still people I gotta meet, like Miller. I'm going to meet Adam Miller, and I'm going to get Adam Miller on the show somehow, some way, because I want to talk numbers with that man, because he is a numbers guy from everything I've seen, and I really want to talk like crazy numbers with that guy, and I'm gonna bore the hell out of people with that conversation, I'm sure. So, but I'm gonna do it because that guy seems fascinating to me. I mean, and he seems young, and I mean, God, I'm just like, geez.
Well, the cool thing about him too is that he is uber smart, but he never makes you feel stupid. Like he just explains things, common sense, and it's like that makes sense. Thank you. He's not like Rain Man, it's like you can have a conversation, and it, totally makes sense. So
definitely not my underwear.
It is 654 toothpicks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one of the things I wanted to mention about freight, there's a couple of things that I wanted. Jeff, did I answer your question though? What was the question?
Yes. Where
Okay.
should we head? And you said the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
So
Bam.
yeah.
But then, so today we had 7 loads off the load board, which is the most in the day. So it tells you that, obviously freight's a little bit slower in some areas. People are taking the freight off the board. And I know that doesn't mean anything for those that aren't on the board just yet. but just know that we are progressing in the right direction. So the testing went well this past week. Charlie and Jeff, we still need to get you in there to see what
Cool.
we're talking about. But for those 100
We're
owners
ready.
that are on the load board today, you're going to see the new UI in a sense. I guess if I could share my screen, I could even show you.
Oh, look, we'll make Brett big.
Why
We're
don't
gonna
can I
make you
share my screen
massive.
on this?
I
Yeah,
think you can.
that'd be cool to share.
There should be a little button at the bottom that says share screen.
Right next
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
little camera.
But let me get to my
Yeah, good luck.
yeah. So while I pause on that and look for that link, I wanted to mention that we have opened up the opportunities for owners to contract in our intermodal dedicateds.
Oh.
So Atlanta, Jacksonville, and Dallas are now open to having a conversation, I guess, where it's still going to be I'm going to call it an interview. It's just to get to know the contractor.
Right.
What is it that you're looking for? Why are you choosing intermodal so that we have the right fit there? That happens between the independent contractor and the on-site leader there.
And that way,
And
both
then,
sides get a good understanding of what to expect, and
yes,
this is what they pay. This is how it works, because it is
yeah,
different. That contract is very different in the way that it pays. At least all the intermodals I've seen, where I'm like, I don't even understand this right now. I'm just shaking my
yeah.
head.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's so customer specific where intermodal signs contracts specific to the lanes that they operate in, to the loads that they have. And so it's good and wise of the owner to understand all of that operation before they sign up because it's very service focused. It's yes, you still have the freedom of choice, but you're in a dedicated where it's not like, well, today I want to go to Florida. Well,
Right.
they're not going in the Dallas intermodal to Florida. So
Right.
just having a better understanding of that, and not to say still you couldn't, you would just need to come off intermodal to go back over the road.
I
But
tell you what, I moved containers for Hobby Lobby for about 3 days out of Oklahoma City one time, and boy was that a great run.
Yeah.
Just from Oklahoma City down to Dallas and back.
yeah,
I was running students at the time. And the student I had at the time was one of those guys that had experience, like more experience than I did, but had a lapse in his license for
Nice.
a year type of guys. And so I would take one and he would take one. You could do the full turn in one shift. It was great. So
no,
I don't
that's
know
awesome.
if that's typical for intermodal or not, but I was really happy with that.
Right. Trucker
Yeah, if
Dan wants
any,
to know, do you need any more load board testers, Brett?
not at the moment, Trucker Dan, but definitely if you want to send me your truck number or give that to Charlie, you can text it to me. We can get you on the list and get you added here sooner than later. So we want to add a few more owners per week, but we need to get past this next.
Right.
Once we can launch this
You got to
next
get the
phase.
automation working.
Yeah.
Jeff got a phone call.
We can't wait to see it go live because if it's doing well enough, I'm even willing to come off percentage to go run that for it.
Yeah,
That's saying
So-
something crazy,
I would say so.
right? I'm just saying.
I mean, I would love it to go percentage sooner rather
Don't
than
go
later.
down that
but that's
rabbit
a
hole, you
conversation
bastard.
For another day.
Nobody wants to hear your
that's a
trash talk right
conversation
now.
For another day.
You know what? I'm so done with this guy. Watch this. I'm just gonna throw him the hell out of here. Watch this.
Oh.
I'm over him and his crap. I just threw him. He could hear the show now. He's down the bottom.
Oh, okay. There he is.
I knew better. I know,
Yeah.
Jeff. Whatever. Look, we're done with you, Matt. You better get back on YouTube, you bastard. I'm sorry. I shouldn't
Work
call
to
him
do
a
or
bastard.
something.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. Here we go.
I don't
Anyhow,
know. I've never met his dad. I don't know.
Right. Well, exactly. I mean,
Could
whatever.
possibly
That's why I tell my kids is that if I didn't know who your father was, I'd have a name for you.
Right. Right. Oh my God.
I'm looking.
Blackbeard said
link.
he'd
I'm
like
not
to get
giving
on
up.
too. Blackbeard and Trucker Dan. If you guys want to shoot me your truck numbers, I'll shoot them over to Brett as well. And yeah. And when spots open up, maybe you'll get in there. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's nice to have in your back pocket when like Jeff today. I mean, had a tough time getting a load, and bam, there was one in the load board that he was able to work out. So, and that's really kind of way they put it out there at this point. I mean, for the way that we should be using.
Well,
like
it's the way I use it. I might take 2 load board loads in a month right now, but if I'm in a market that I know that might be tough, like I'm headed to the Ontario area on Friday, I looked at the load board to see what there was and ended up with a load that 9,700 pounds, Brett, almost 1,100 miles.
Right.
I found it.
So that's something that's changed.
All right.
That in the past, a lot of those loads were really heavy loads. Like all of them were like 42,000 pounds for the longest time. So I don't know if that's an indicator that the variety of freight is shifting a little bit already.
Well, yeah. So for the meantime, in the interim, we are working with logistics to push more of their freight in the board until obviously we can get online with what's in our system. But down the road, it's going to be a mixture of all. So you're going to have, truck stop, DAT, Swift Logistics, Swift,
Right.
KNX Logistics. So can you see my screen, Charlie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So new look. Have you guys seen it this way with the new look, or?
No, I saw it just before you made the logo change. I remember the conversation that you had with the dev team, and so I like it.
Okay, cool. So some of this runs slow. This is all tests, so don't judge anything you see here. This is a test
let me go to
environment.
this
Might not
logo.
be accurate here, but some of the differences obviously is now the book button's over on the right. It used to be on the left. I think though aesthetically, it just is more pleasing to the eye. I think it flows better. It's more, if this is a word, Google-rific.
Right.
But what's
Coin.
cool, yeah,
Now we're coining phrases on our show. Cool.
you can hover over any of the cities and get the customer information. So
Oh.
it's Quaker Oats. Here this is going to
Oh.
Kroger.
That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, because some of the owners were requesting that because they do and don't want to go to certain customers.
Right.
So we get that.
I dig it.
And then if you go to show details drop down, you can get the full information as well. Now, under the requirements, this is going to be more around the trailer requirements, along with, is it a hazmat, alcohol load, some of
Right.
those, higher requirements, things that people want to know about. So,
Mhm.
but ultimately, so you'd go in here and say, okay, from Phoenix to Vegas, sure, it's 278 miles, 45,000 pounds. Maybe that's too heavy. You keep scrolling down, but these are all there and available. And then when you go to book the load, I don't like how these have 0. So this might be just test environment.
No, it happens
But
all the time, honestly.
yeah. And sometimes it's like garbage in, garbage out. The customer does not provide us the
Right.
details that we're looking for. And so sometimes that
Right.
goes in that way. But so then it'll ask you, are you sure you want to book this load from here to here on this date? Again, kind of sharing which customer. So you say, yeah. And then this was a Charlie and Jeff idea. In 3, 2.
Oh, it broke.
Fucking error. So what this could mean is a couple of things, but ultimately this number goes to the owner operator fleet consultants, the planners on the team that will identify what the error is. What this error could be is at the same time another owner is booking the load and they hit confirm before you, that would populate this. Or
Okay.
what's probably happening is this owner that's in test is currently under a load. So let me just look at my managed loads. Yeah. So I'm under a load that needs to deliver on the 28th. So therefore I can't take a
Okay.
load that. So let
Oh,
me
so
go.
that's a nice safety net right there.
Yeah. So let me just come down here then. So this is on May 12th, Delaware to Salt Lake City. Book it. Book it.
There's the
Bam!
confetti.
Hey,
Bam!
confetti.
So we're gonna probably do some like Swift Fetty or something, put a
I
Swift
dig
logo.
it.
But yeah, you
Nice.
guys wanted to make it fun, so there you go.
We brought that out for the millennials, y'all.
Yeah.
That's exactly who we pitched that for. Millennials. We pitched that for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how it works too on the mobile, I know this is probably more of your life. Let me shrink it. So this is what it looks like on your mobile device. So I think
Bingo,
you
Blackbeard.
still get a good product.
Mhm.
Easy to navigate and understand. There is going to be a map. Right now it's not displaying, but you will get a map from point A to point B
Right.
that you can zoom in and out of, so you can see closer to or farther away from. So that will be added. We also are going to add a feature where you can save. Let's just say you're Charlie and you just like Atlanta to Phoenix. And so you would type
Right.
in Atlanta to
That
Phoenix.
man knows me.
and then you would save search, so you'd bookmark it here, and then you would ask it to notify you when your search criteria came back. So you wouldn't have to actually be in the load board at all times. If you know you're only looking for specific load off the load board, that load goes into the load board, it would send you a text or an email, and then you would
Nice.
know. Because I think it was probably Charlie who was looking for that one load, and you were just like refresh,
Oh, absolutely.
refresh,
Yes.
just
East
like,
Point, Georgia to Phoenix, man. I love that
yeah.
load.
So you just click that refresh button. But yeah, so it's got a pretty good search field as well. We're going to
Does-
add some other filters to sort by weight or total miles, stuff like that. So you
Does it
can
show the customer name in the mobile version as well? That was a question somebody asked. Matt asked that. Sorry.
Yeah, good question. It does when you click on the show.
Okay, there you go.
Allowing me to hover though.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to hover on the mobile anyhow.
True that. Yeah,
Right.
unless your finger's
yeah.
magical, but yeah.
Right. Well, hey, stop.
Hey, you got yo, I've opened it up now.
Man.
Let's move on. What about Illinois to Michigan? Here's a load, dairy powder.
Thank you.
Yeah, squirrel.
God.
So I guess a question too that you guys can help us answer is, would you rather us filter inaccurate data, like anything that had 0 pounds, don't display it? Or would you rather just see it and make your...
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in just because I'm loud and I talk. I don't think that's a turnoff for me. Right, but I don't think that's a turnoff for me. I would maybe call and find out something more about it, or figure out who the customer is and get a better idea.
If I could see who the customer is, like that one was for Golden, Colorado, right?
And it was
Yeah.
beer.
So if it's beer, I know it's going to be 45,000 pounds.
But what if it's empty
cans? If it's empty kegs or something, it's going to be closer to 10,000. But if I could see the customer, is it Miller Coors or is it that can place that's on the same property?
And so like this one is going Miller Coors to Canyon Distribution. So that's either full beer cans or full kegs.
Yep.
Because going to a distribution place.
So yeah, for me, if I could see the customer, and for those of you that are just watching all this, as you gain more experience, there's certain customers that I know load heavy and certain customers that I know load light because I've been there enough times.
Right.
So for me, that's not a deal killer. I would just look and see who it is. I think that some of the newer guys might get their feelings hurt when they show up to Miller Coors as 45,000 pounds.
Right.
But
man, never doing this again.
Yeah.
We've been trying to educate those guys, but whatever.
Same question when it comes to miles. If it showed like -1 mile or something because there was a glitch somewhere, would you be able to understand?
Those are a little weird. I think that some people will be thrown off by it. I don't think it's a killer for the load. I mean,
Well, we know that once it goes over to the HAL 9000, right, it's just going to pay us our mileage rate, right, Brett?
Yeah.
And how hard is it to Google from here to here?
We can look at the map and say Rand McNally says plus or minus 8%, so I'm going to estimate the lower of the two and make my decision based on that.
Right. Education. That's what we're here for. We're going to educate people, Brett, so that they can make these better decisions on these things.
I guess what we're both, I think Charlie and I are both on the same page here. I would rather see more loads and have to figure out a few things on my own.
Yes.
And educate people on how to run their business properly so that they can do that too, than to have the load board kind of castrated and filtering out loads that maybe I wanted that load. I don't know. I didn't see it, if that makes sense.
Right.
No, I think that's exactly what I was thinking as well, is just dump everything we have in there and you guys can, and naturally as accurate as we absolutely can be. But again, I mean, some of the shippers send us a bill of lading with zeros on it, and then we'll try to contact someone, but in the meantime, we got to go pick it up in 12 hours. So we have to put it in the system and get a truck under it. So, yeah, it exists where we can filter those, and I just don't want one bad thing to happen and it be removed. I think we just go with the understanding that it's not going to be as accurate when it comes to certain things. Now, the miles will absolutely be accurate because those are going to come off the same mileage maker that you have currently today. So that needs to be, because that's actually your money there. So we need that to line up. But
and I lost my train of thought, so never mind.
So, but it is cool. Like someone asked, do we actually need to display what loads you've delivered off the load board? And yeah, I think every load
I-
that you've taken.
Yeah, it helps
From
me
the load.
with notes because I remember I'm like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that again. Or I go East Point. Yes, I love
You know what?
that.
You know what would be helpful, Brett, is if in that delivered screen you
Oh, I
put
know
something
where
where
it's
we could put notes in.
Gonna
So
piss
we
off
could
the dev team.
like maybe we have some gold star customers where if I see that customer again, I'm absolutely
Turn them
searching that
into a
customer.
favorite, right?
And then
Okay, yeah.
other customers, I'd be like, that was a tough one. I don't know. I'd have to be in dire straits to take another one from them. I never say I'm not going to take a load from someone, but
Personal note box.
like my personal business model is I have to be in order for me to take a Costco load. That's the one that I'll point out.
Yeah.
I have to have a goal in mind for taking that load because Costco, boy, they have some loads that are 30,000 pounds, and they have some loads where you better show up with a quarter tank of fuel.
Right.
And it's and it just depends. I don't think that the planners even know what those loads weigh until after they're loaded, which is sometimes 10 minutes before you get dispatched, right? So
Yep.
so the ability to put some notes in there would be great.
Yeah, I marked that down. Plus, I liked your idea about favoriting a customer because that's some data too we can select by looking to see who's the owner's favorite customers, and
Mhm.
that goes a long way with us meeting with customers as well. So
those of you watching, what Brett's doing is he's building a save search. So you could save this in there and say, hey, this is I want to build a search from Atlanta to Phoenix, which is one of the things I do all the time. In fact, that's in my load board now. It's there. So it'll pull up everything I just hit the little button when I go to search because it's saved, and it automatically searches for it without me having to type it all in every single time. You set up your radius and all that kind of stuff, and it's great. It makes it a little easier.
yeah. So then in this, there you go, Charlie. There's your
Look,
load.
that's the load.
See, and it's
Look at the
showing
weight.
as
2 weeks
bam!
later.
Dude, it left, a couple of days. It actually should have delivered today. So yeah, -1 mile though. So I would hate to take this load off because we need to
Right.
figure out why that is.
Yeah, no,
So let me
I would be mad if that went away because of that. Because I know
That's a great load.
that
Any
is
of
a
you guys that are in
wonderful
the
load.
Atlanta area, that is a sweet load. Both Charlie and I love that customer.
Stop telling people that, Jeff.
I know.
Stop.
Let me exit the screen. There is no such a
my God.
load.
Don't go back
Doesn't
and watch that
exist.
again to figure that
Yeah.
out, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get that load again. Watch.
Yeah. It's done.
Hey, you're the one that
Oh
keeps
my
telling
God.
people we don't want to make any money, Charlie. So I don't want to hear
Right. Wait. What? Oh yeah. Right. You know what? You're right. Hey, dude, that was awesome. Seriously, and I liked it. So wait, there was a comment instead of confetti. Can you make it rain money somehow? Would that be a weird
Money
thing?
Fetty.
Money Fetty. That was Alan Becker. Money Fetty. Yes, Alan
Money
Becker. Leave it to
Fetty.
him.
Okay, I like it. So money.
And Roland said something about,
Fetty.
is there a way to add? Can we add customer numbers?
Yeah.
I
I guess I would imagine that person is on a dedicated or something because I don't know why. Home Depot store 454 or whatever.
Matt said, can
Roland?
we save a load to watch? Not put on, but just to bookmark the load in case. Sorry, I got sidetracked. In case you deliver early and hopefully able to take it. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matt confusing me sometimes. He types worse than I do to you, Brett.
Comment was Money Fetty.
Right.
Some sort of Money Fetty.
And Blackbeard said remark option would be awesome. Anyone
So to answer Matt's
can
question, so that's one of the things we're going to do is where you can save the load, and then when that load that you've saved becomes available, you would get notified.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's another good one because look, I am constantly looking for that East Point one just to save that and know that it pops up. And then the race is on between me and those 3,000 people watching the show right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So are you ready for the 60-minute style gotcha question?
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
So automation. Is
Automation, yeah.
automation still our bane here, or are they actually getting that done?
Yeah, so that is still, so on the Monday call, they had the fix, they had to submit. There's a lot. I mean, I one time said I wanted
Right.
to be a developer, and I take it back now. Like,
You're right, right?
Yep.
there's so much. And then especially when you have to have all these checks and balances and audits and things, it's
Right.
gotta flow correctly. And but long story short, yeah. So the automation piece should have already been done. So let me check on that. That should be completed this
Okay.
week, if
Cool.
not early next. And then we'll need you guys to grab some freight and see that it flows over automatically.
I'm ready.
Because that's one of the things we've been telling people, Rick, because we get hounded with this load board thing. Everybody wants a load board.
Yeah.
And
We
we
can
keep
talk about a
telling them,
million great things,
look,
but
look, it's not ready yet, guys. And
Yeah.
what they're trying to do is put out a product that works so that you guys don't get pissed off when it does get released.
Yeah, do you know who wants the load board the most? Which might just be an arm wrestling, but this guy
right?
Yeah.
right here. My
Right.
mission is to attract and retain owner operators at Swift Transportation.
Right.
There is no better way to do that than load board. So trust me, I want this. I've wanted this for 2 years, and I'm frustrated as you guys are. So, but it is getting a lot closer. I wanted a demo just to show you that it's come a long way from where it was.
Yeah, no doubt.
That new platform you just looked at was the one we had to go to because that old one couldn't scale. Like,
Right.
what? And so you asked the question, well, why did we build something that wasn't scalable? Great question.
Right.
But we fixed
That
it.
made everybody like,
Boosh. But there's
Yeah.
a lot of times where you don't know until I guess you get to a certain point and you're
Right.
like, whoa, it broke at 500. Well, guess what? We have 1,700 and growing total contractors. So we
right.
got to at least try to get to that point. But
Right.
yeah, there was some good questions today. You guys got a good audience. That's why I like joining.
We've been having
think
fun
so.
lately, man. Seriously. Like, and that's why I was like, when you sent that message, I was like, yeah, we've been on an hour. We can still go more. It's great because
Yeah.
people are digging it. So,
Well, Roland asked, he said something about, he was asking you about getting a macro created to be able to link up to an empty if
Yes.
it's available.
I failed to pass that on to you because, squirrels and me OTR, but I did
Right.
have a note written down. I just haven't gone back to those notes and I haven't got into that, but that was exactly it. He's like a simple macro to say, hey, is this trailer available? If so, attach it and dispatch me.
Yep.
Seems like it wouldn't be that hard. I don't know about the
It'd be
inside.
cool. So let me ask Nate Obrey, who's over all of
Mhm.
that, to see if he can jump on next week with you and kind of go through the things that they have and should have deployed already. But seriously, they've already developed on the tablet where, on your phone, you can say like, find the nearest restaurant. It goes bloop, and
Right.
shows you all the restaurants in the radius. They have that with find an empty trailer.
Really?
And it will say with the sensor, it'll say if it's empty or loaded, the last time it moved, those certain things,
wow.
which is also equally important for our shops because they know if this
Right.
trailer's been sitting for 4 months, it needs a DOT, it needs to actually go get, so.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, all of that was already created, but is not deployed. So
Nobody knows about it.
yeah, so let me ask Nate to join, and I think it'd be cool to have him on. He's a good dude.
Hey, Craig said, are there any changes to the Northeast percentage account coming for the Northeast percentage account? I don't know what he's after exactly. I can't tell you.
Yeah, and not, I guess not that I haven't heard of anything. I know freight has slowed down just a little bit in the Northeast as it has everywhere else. So some of those loads aren't as
Right.
available, but Matt, can attest to the fact that he's still moving. So
Right.
Right. Oh, he loves to tell everybody about it. That
Look,
guy.
Look, we need to calm him down on some of these topics. I'm just saying because he goes a little crazy sometimes. And Jeff and I talked. I'm like, dude, can you?
Stop.
We need to talk. Stop.
yeah.
It.
So Matt can help it. He asked a question around, can you access the board on the tablets? Can you access websites on your tablets or no?
Not presently. No. Nope.
No, they got that locked down.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm even going to throw something out here just to, stir the pot. I would be willing to pay a couple bucks to have some sort of web access. But look, I want the logs and the mapping to work first before anything else. Honestly, God,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for bells and whistles yet, but I'm just saying, and I know it's been a weird thing for some people. I'm like, look, if I could get access to the interwebs, look, charge me a couple bucks. I'll pay it. I know some people aren't going to like that answer, but I'll pay a couple bucks just to have the internet access to be able to do a little more. I don't know if that's something that's possible or whatever, but I'm gonna throw it out there and I'm gonna get yelled at later for it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get flamed over that one, as a matter of fact. Damn you, Charlie. Why'd you even offer to pay for anything? What's wrong with you, you big dummy? Jeff's probably gonna yell at me. Can almost see it in his face.
No one's yelling at you.
They will. Watch it.
Man, you guys have been going for an hour and 45 minutes. That's
Dude,
awesome.
yeah.
Hey,
I
it's one of
like
our
when they
longest
flow like this.
shows.
Yeah.
Alan, what the hell is he saying? Yeah, I'm here at Swift for the long run. Truck number 2 will be rolling this Thursday. Look at him. Alan's now going to be a small fleet. Oh, wait, I got to throw her in here. Do it again. I saw you. Woo! Yay, Alan. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, look, I tell people, look, if you want to start a small fleet and you don't want to be out there in that spot market, this is not a bad place to do it. I mean, it is like a legitimate possibility to have this done. And there's some weird feedback coming in. It's Rosie. I don't know why, but yeah. So I completely think that people like Alan who want to run a small fleet, I think it's going to drive you nuts personally. But hey, man, make the money, and you can do it here.
Yeah.
You just gotta put out a couple bucks and start making them trucks roll.
Yeah, Brett, I know you're a busy man, so you don't spend all day on Facebook like me and Charlie.
Right.
But people are starting to buzz about, hey, right now it's better to be with a mega carrier
Yeah.
because at least they're moving. And a lot of these spot market guys, they are not moving. And Charlie and I were just discussing earlier in the show that spot market rates are going down. He's more up on that than I am, but
Yeah, April closed down at
it's
$1.80 or 282.
280. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
So
yeah. I feel for
with
them. I mean, it's
having
also. Go ahead.
so having my wagon hitched to Swift, I mean, I'm moving. What
Right.
that's I
May
can still
take a
pay my
couple
mortgage.
more minutes of work on the phone, but look, he's like, oh my God, it's dead up here in Salt Lake. I got to get out of here. And bam, lined up 2,000 miles in a matter of minutes on the phone. So I'm just saying. And then
Yeah.
throw the load board in there. That's what got him out of Cali on his next load after the one he's on. And come on.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, not only that, is some of those same owners have no fuel protection, where our owners
Right.
are actually
Right.
making money on our fuel protection. They
Look,
are
it is
losing,
ridiculous, and I love it. And I'm
yeah.
so
Yeah,
damn
we're not
happy.
we're not going to tell you about that though, Brett, because we're riding this thing all the way to the end.
That's right. And look, I
We
want to
want-
see the next chunk
we
of that
want-
fuel surcharge. I'm telling you, we're going to get above
We want-
655 soon. It's coming. It's coming, Brett. Get ready.
Yeah. Hey,
Get
I
ready.
applaud it. It's awesome. You guys, I
You
mean,
know,
it's part of
well,
business.
What's crazy with the fuel is we've joked about it for years. We'd love to see it get to $10. That used to be a joke, Brett, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Charlie just posed. We were just talking. We were looking at historicals, and boy, it's like
Yeah.
that right now. It's crazy.
I hope for our country's sake we don't get to $10.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But for
you're right.
look, looking at this purely from my business or Jeff's business, it's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
People don't understand. And look, it's not political. I can say this. People look at the price of gas and they scream and they yell and they jump up and down, right? So what happens? People drop the price of gas, but they don't drop the price of diesel when, us lowly truck drivers get out there and pissed off because of fuel, because some people like Jeff and I love the price going higher. What they don't understand is they jack the price of diesel. That makes the price of everything go up with it.
Yeah.
But they don't put those things together for whatever reason. They're just pissed off that their gas is $5 a gallon. They don't realize we're paying $7 in some places for diesel.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
why
ridiculous.
their milk is
Well,
now $3 to $6 a gallon.
And
Yeah.
I hear you, Brett, talking about the fuel protection a lot. And what I've started telling people is our fuel surcharge is a hedge against inflation, is what it is.
Absolutely.
My wife and I were at Walmart the other day, and we have a fairly large family, so we buy those 60 egg carton things, the big ones, and they're up to $15 now.
To
Right.
just buy some
For
chickens
68. Well, we're going to, but
Right.
in the new
But-
house.
but I've wondered about this because I have friends in other industries and things. I'm wondering how they're faring with all of this, because for me, my income has gone up commensurate with inflation because of the fuel surcharge. So it costs us more dollars and cents to buy eggs, but I'm making more dollars and cents.
Right.
If that makes sense. So it's kind of unique to our industry.
Yeah.
You know, us lowly truck drivers, we have kind of this automatic hedge built into our
And in our contract because of our fuel
contract,
surcharge
you know.
schedule.
So I that's one of the things I try to get people to look at is, you know, the economy. Everybody talks about it, and inflation's rampant right now. But you know, we're okay because we've got that fuel surcharge that's helping
Right.
us weather the storm.
Yeah.
Someone asked decals. That's Nick in Phoenix, right? Just outside your office there, Brett, for vinyl work decals. That's who they need to get a hold of.
Yeah.
And they can
Yeah.
just
So
call Rapid and ask for them.
yeah, the company we use is called Gladiator Graphics. They're out of Phoenix, Arizona. We can ship those graphics to any location. For a new lease owner, when you get a tractor, those are included. But if you wanted to add them, then we would need to get you the price of those. So
Okay.
obviously, most people understand it's not free, but
Right.
it is free for the new trucks that we've already staged them on, in a sense.
Cool.
It's like cooler than pinstriping when you get a car, you know.
Right.
I remember I got a car from a dealership one time. They're like, "Yeah, it's $300 for the pinstriping." And I'm like, "I don't want the pinstriping. Take it off."
You're like, yeah. And they're
Or-
like, no, can do.
Yeah, it's part of the car. I'm like, "Well, then it's not the car I'm gonna
In
buy."
fact, if you don't want the pinstriping, what we can do is charge you $1,000 to remove it. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
leave it on, buddy.
yeah. Then pinstriping's cool. I'm just not paying.
Oh,
for
it's
it.
hot. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hey, I got to leave, but I wanted to bring up one thing that you guys talked about last week that's still
Cool, thanks, man.
plaguing us. Is we had 3 more owners that were
Oh, crap.
terminated for using their cell phones.
You guys. Oh my God. Look,
Yeah.
I just drove past one and I started touching on this earlier, Brett. I was telling people, you know, we the PC thing is plaguing us right now. False rods is the big thing that's got us being pulled into all these way stations, red lighting, damn near. I got 2 legitimate green lights from Portland to Laredo, from Laredo to Miami. 2 legitimate, like actual open way stations, 2 green lights the whole time. That was it. I don't like it. It messes with my fuel mileage. But the cell phone thing, seriously, this is getting ridiculous. I drove past an owner. I'm not calling him out. I drove past an owner the other day in Texas, just playing on his damn phone as he passed me at 72. And I'm like, bro, really?
Yeah.
You know, this has got to stop. If you don't have a Bluetooth and don't know how to use it, you're wrong. That's all there is
Plus,
to
it's
it.
just said that like these are all citations. It's not as if like they had a camera and Big Brother
Right.
caught them or something. These are like you got cited from either a way station or an officer on duty. But like, really? I mean, I don't. Yeah.
More states are
Anyways.
putting troopers in trucks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
And exactly. Yeah. So they're riding the road right next to you and seeing what you're doing. So yeah, just protect your business, protect your
Absolutely.
CDL, and just wait till you pull over, you know, and get it
Mhm.
set up. I get it though. I mean, some of the roads can be monotonous and you're just trying to pass the time, but just do it safely. But
for real.
no, you touched on, I mean, we're close to getting the green lights again. We just need everybody to do their part. And
Yeah, Tillman said he thinks maybe a week out, so hopefully
Yeah.
we get it under check.
Yeah, I can't buy a green light right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Brett, for being here, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
it, buddy.
Appreciate
you know,
you guys.
anytime you want to, we got you.
Okay. Well, I'll see you about Nate next week. All right. For that trailer interface
Cool.
thing.
That would
Cool.
be neat.
Sweet.
All right, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. There you go. Let's do it. Bam. Welcome back, baby. Yep, that just happened. Oh my
Well, that
God.
was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was off by an hour. He thought the show was an hour later because, you know, he's Brett and he's got squirrels and he's got important things to do, and I get it. And he sent me a message. He's like, hey, if you guys want me to pop in, I'm available right now. I'm like, oh, cool. And that's what all that nonsense I was doing in the background when I said I had to type stuff. That's what it was. I was trying to get him the link to get him in the show. So there you go. Are you going to have Amazon freight on the load board? Sorry, I did not see that question before he split. I don't know.
Well, my guess is if Swift Logistics has Amazon freight, it'll show up on the load board.
Right.
But keep in mind that Amazon is going with that weird contractor model of their own.
Right.
where
they've
you
got a
can
whole incubator going for
where you can
independents.
where you can go to school, buy a truck next week, and then contract with Amazon. So
Right. And they're
You know?
giving you all kinds of crazy loans and grants and stuff. So there you go.
Yep.
Guys, if you got any questions, throw them up real quick. And if not, we're going to wrap this because we're coming up on 2 hours, and this is officially our
Oh,
longest show to date.
yeah.
And
That's
look,
enough for me. That's enough for me to split my sleeper berth now.
you know what I'm saying? Look, and 50-year-old bladders, y'all. I'm just saying, 50-year-old bladders.
And cramps.
Wait, nobody needs to hear. God,
Leg
Uh,
cramps.
leg cramps. Okay, yeah, that's better. Thank you for
Yeah.
fixing that because you
just say,
just
Charlie, you
ruined
can go off
everybody.
on politics now. So.
No doubt. Let's talk about guns. You know, I want to do a show about guns. It may have to be like a little one time in the Contractors Corner group. Maybe we'll do it that way, and we'll have a discussion about that. I don't know if I want to broach that or not officially.
Well,
It's a weird thing.
I think that if we do it right, it'll be okay. Because I do think people need to become more educated on the subject.
Right.
Because you know, if you're one of those people that wants to carry but you think you can't carry,
right,
because of this, that, or the other thing, you might be wrong. I'm not the expert. Charlie is, but he's been educating me on it over the last year or two, and I was actually kind of amazed that, you know, if I so choose, I'm not one of those people that chooses that, but if I so chose, there's things I can do to have that security in my truck without breaking any laws. But you gotta know what you're doing. You know, so I think it would be worth it. I think it should probably be a one-off thing.
Sorry for these. I'm just saving these for my own note-taking ability so I can go back and because I lose my chat afterwards that if I didn't post it, I don't get to see it anymore. It goes away. It's weird. Sorry while I scroll through this. But if you guys got questions, throw them up. We will get to them quickly. Otherwise, we are going to bounce here pretty quick. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any truck numbers that people want to get on the load board for the next openings. I think that was the 3 that were there. Yeah, if you're interested in getting on the load board, throw your truck number up right now in the chat so I can save it, and I will pass that list on to Brett. And when they get some openings and have some room, you'll be added to that list. And I know Ken Kelly's the old guy in the group, and I can only imagine what his little bladder does. Either that, or maybe he doesn't worry about it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he does in his truck.
But, you know, I don't know about you, Charlie, but that normally, just so you guys know what Brett did with sharing a screen, when Charlie and I tell you, hey, we've got an update from Brett, that's what we get. We get a demonstration like that.
Right.
And that's probably the most impressive one we've gotten in the last year and a half.
Absolutely.
I mean, that had a lot of good features that we've been asking for in it. So
seriously.
So I'm excited to hopefully it works.
Right. Right. So it sounded like this week we're gonna get to test something, Jeff. Let's hope that rings true, and we will get that info to you guys as soon as we can. Like as soon as we get it, we will share what we can as soon as we can, you guys. It's not like we're trying to keep things to ourselves. Trust me. Every now and then there's things that are like, hey, not quite ready to put it out there, so hold off a couple of days and we'll let you know when. And that's what we do, because that's why they let us be a part of it.
And like Brett was saying, it's all about the dev team, you know.
Right.
A lot of us that are our age, me and Charlie's age, we dreamt about being coders when we were young. And I'm with Brett. I'm glad I didn't go down that road.
Right.
These guys have this job that's just like every day is a headache for these guys.
and then you know, those of us, hey, instead of confetti, can we make it money? Can we make it Swiftfetti? How about Bitcoin? Or oh my God!
And the dev team's like, what the hell do you people want?
Now they want a note and a favorites. Oh my! They're gonna lose their minds over this. But the cool thing is they'll actually put it on the list and they'll actually start working on it. But we want them to get that automation first. Well, Jeff, you got anything else you want to throw at anybody?
No.
How about
I'm
you,
tired.
Rosie, with that cat on your shoulder? Right? Rosie got a cat on her shoulder like a daggone parrot, that thing.
No, she's there.
You got anything you want to say to people, my love?
Oh, thanks for hanging out for almost 2 hours, two
Right?
hours, something like that.
1 hour,
Yeah.
59 minutes, and 38 seconds as of right that point. I'm just saying. So thank you guys. Like every week, it means a great deal to us. We're glad that we can be here and hopefully give you some information that you're looking for. Sometimes information you may not want to hear, but you need to hear, things of that nature. We are just trying to make things better for all of us. And
Yep.
you will notice that we are slowly dropping the name Swift off of all of our branding stuff. There's reasons for that, and we will get into more of that sooner. It's not that they're giving us a hard time over it because we got approval to use the name Swift, but it's to move bigger, better, and to do more things for you guys down the road. So we will be referring to ourselves strictly as Contractors Corner. Jeff and I are developing another business behind this that we haven't decided on a name yet. We're bouncing around a couple of things, but it's basically a consulting type deal. We will get more of that to you guys as it develops. I just wanted to throw that out there. And the group names will probably change fairly soon. It's something I need to work on. I'm doing a little research on it right now to see what that's going to do to like the public page. You know, if I drop the name Swift, what does it do? I was actually dipping into that today just for the show and then realized, oh crap, the show's about to start. Yeah. So again, thank you guys for being here. You're awesome. I hope that we're providing you with content and information that you enjoy and want and need. And, you know, I'm not a grumpy guy. And let someone else come to me with optics. I'm gonna throw it out there, Jeff. Look, I saved you. I saved you the hassle. Throw that word at me again. Optics.
That looks
Optics.
so bad. The optics on that are just terrible.
Yeah. Watch what happens. Watch. I'm just saying. I will not see anything you type for a while. There's someone out there who can tell you about it. I'm not gonna bust them out. You know who you are. And you know what? I'm going to be upset if that person doesn't actually comment to me later on about this because, you know what? Look, never mind. You guys, yes. Thank you for being here. That's Jeff. Damn it. That's Jeff. That's Rosie. I'm Charlie. This is Contractors Corner. And like always, we are live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys take care of each other. I hope the prices keep going up on fuel because I'm digging it all the way to the bank. And we're out. You guys have a wonderful night. Be safe.